Hey everybody, it's Anne Marie with Light Happy Life today. I'm really excited because I'm here with Barbara Iuliano, who is joining me from pretty much the opposite climate in South Florida, Boston. And so Barb and I know each other as colleagues through some of our professional associations, and I'm really excited to be here today. Barb is actually a business and confidence coach, and she's here to talk about confidence because she's so passionate about it and something that she really works with all of the women in her program. So, hey Barb, how are you doing?
Hi, Anne-Marie. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited for you to be here today. So tell us a little bit about confidence, because it's something that we as women may not really think about as a specific topic.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so the first thing I want to say about confidence is that it's an ongoing journey. A lot of us think like, oh, once I get confidence, everything's like shifts. And it is true to an extent, like once we're working on ourselves and believing in our capabilities, things do begin to shift. And my personal story is an example of that. But it's also like, it's not always like a high point. Like you go through ups and downs and you're always going to be working on it, because there are definitely certain beliefs that have been ingrained within yourself that may get triggered at certain points of your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So you mentioned your story. So before we dig into some of the confidence tactical things, give us a story so that women who are watching this can relate and understand how you found this magic pill of confidence.
I love talking about this. Awesome. So I was always the type of person who totally diminished her light. So I would hear all the time, like, oh my God, you're so great. You're such an amazing girlfriend. You're such a good employee. And I would always be like, no, I'm not good enough. And I didn't apply for certain positions. I didn't embark in my business dreams. I actually, one of the things I like to mention, because I feel like some women do need to hear that, I actually stayed in a very toxic and destructive relationship for a long time, just because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to go into another relationship. When I grew up, I actually grew up with lack of parental support. I had severe acne. I was bullied. And that really got to me, and all the things that I decided to do in life, I did them like with my shoulders down, not thinking that I could do bigger things, you know? It was very, very painful, because it's like when we are not aware of our greatness and the things that we're capable of doing, it's kind of like we're enclosing this big part of ourselves, you know? And by doing so, we get, I don't want to say like, we get kicked around,
Yeah,
you
we
know?
get diminished, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and then we think less of ourselves and we sort of close in. And we
Mm-hmm.
think as women, we so often let other people's needs and wants and desires, and part of that is because if we're parents, other people's needs come first, so on and so on and so forth. And then you forget about what you need, and then you realize, like, am I worthy? Am I worthwhile somebody caring about me? And I'm sure we'll talk about this in a second, but the first person that you has to take care of yourself is you, right?
Yes, totally, 100%. And it's so painful, because no matter how much we do, like if we're in that state where we feel like that, we'll never be enough.
Mm-mm.
You know, we can wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, be the best mom, take your children to work, clean, cook, work out, do everything that you're quote unquote supposed to do. And if you're not, like, if you don't have that belief, like I am enough, you'll never feel like it. So it's painful and tiring and incredibly unfulfilling.
So what was the moment that changed everything for you? Because if you're in, like, your story of being in a toxic relationship, right? But it's the challenge of how do you find that moment and then make a decision to make a change?
Okay, so once heard Tony Robbins say, like, oh, people tell me that it takes a long time for a transformation, and he always says like BS, it just takes
Yeah.
1 second. And that's kind of like, I feel like I'm in both worlds, because it feels like it definitely was a journey, but I do remember one specific point where I made the decision and I said, this is enough.
Yeah.
And from there, from that point, things began to shift and unfold. And again, ups and downs through the journey, but all it took is for me to understand that I didn't want what I was living anymore. So I
Mm-hmm.
had a horrible, horrible situation with my ex-boyfriend. And that moment just brought the awareness that my life sucked and I was the one responsible for it, you know?
Yeah.
And again, it's not like that day I took my suitcases and left, but that day I said things are going to change. And I quit jobs, I changed careers, I left my boyfriend, I moved back in with my mom. I did what I had to do. But it all started from just making the decision that I didn't want my present life anymore.
Right. Right. That you were worth more. Right.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have 3 incredible tips. Tips.
I wish, right?
I know, right? So 3 incredible tips about living a confident life. Do you want to briefly share those with everybody?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so the tips I'm going to share, first of all, are like really quick. You can do them at any time. It takes like 5 to 10 minutes. And again, it's a journey. You're going to do it over and over and over again because you're going to unveil different beliefs as you go through your confidence journey, okay? So the first thing that we want to do is bring awareness, right? Everything is awareness. So you really want to start realizing like the things that you're telling yourself. For me, it was always like, you're too fat, you're too ugly, you're not good enough, you don't have a higher education. What makes you think that you should apply for that race? What makes you think that someone else is going to love you? So you really want to be aware of the things that you're telling yourself. So it's bring out your belief, bring them out of your mind, and understand that they're there. Okay. No judgment. Don't tell yourself like, oh, I'm telling myself I'm not good enough, I suck. Just bring them out and do not judge yourself for it. Right.
Yeah.
Once you have awareness, then you have the capacity to go to the next step, which is the way I do it. It's I want you to like draw a little monster and give it a name, because all those beliefs are only real because there's a little monster in your mind making them real, right? It's not that they're true or false. It's just that your perception of them is that it is the truth at that moment. Mm-hmm. And they usually come from a friend, a parent, a teacher that told you that you're not good at English. So I want you to just go back to the times where you were told that you weren't good enough, you know, that you were too fat. Like for me, I was put on a diet like since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it was always like my body wasn't enough. My body was too this, too that. So that's where it came from. And I know it specifically came from my mom and my grandma. And knowing that makes me realize this is not me. This is just something that has been ingrained in my mind, right?
Right.
So now you have awareness. Now you understand that there's a little monster in your mind telling you these things. That's not really you. It's just a monster composed of other people's opinions.
Right.
And then the last thing is bring them to the junkyard, like get rid of it.
Yeah. I love the junk drawer idea. Is awesome. Yeah.
It sounds easier said than done, but here's the thing. It's going to be really hard to like get rid of them and never think about it again. You know, so I don't want you to set realistic expectations like, oh yeah, we bring them to the junkyard and we're never going to feel like that again, because it's not true. What I want you to do instead is find encouraging, uplifting, and empowering beliefs to replace those. Yeah. You know,
crowd them out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Like you've got broken china in the cabinet, right? Put it in the back corner cabinet where you can't reach it. Replace it with new. It's the same idea with your thoughts and your stories. Mm-hmm. So wherever you are, if you haven't watched some of the introductory videos that I do on practical mindfulness, I love your awareness, because for me, it's all about being aware of what's going on. And this is, people are making fun of it now, in your thoughts, your words, your body, and your breath, right? Because it's one of those things where we oftentimes cut off that awareness. And it's like the little monster idea is, you know, give your crazy a name, right?
Yes. Yes.
For you, like, it's like, you know what? This is my crazy. I've had it for a long time, right? I love it's like I'm stupid in the junk drawer. Like I don't have to worry about it, right? It's there. I'm sure at some point I'll need my crazy again, right? But I know like I can come out and I can put something fresh in there. So that's such a great tip. And you are giving away that free confidence boosting guide that details all of those 3 things, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome. I really appreciate that for everybody. Now, the question, you're so cute. The question that I want to ask you, and the way that I'm ending all of these, is what's your secret to a light and happy life?
I think you guys know by now. Honestly, work on your confidence, because it's, you can you can divide confidence in different areas of your life. Confidence as a mom, confidence as an entrepreneur, confidence as a sister, confidence as a student. So always work on your confidence in every single area of your life, because when you show up knowing that, yes, bad things are going to happen, yes, things are going to get tough, but when you show up knowing that you are worthy and capable of handling anything that life brings your way, like, what's there not to be happy about? You
Right.
know?
Yeah, and it's also one of these things where you mentioned it earlier, you can't think that you're confident when, right? Like
Yes.
it's not about being confident when I lose 20 pounds. It's not about being confident when I get that job, or being confident when my husband decides to take out the trash. Right? Right? It's being confident now with where you're at. So
Yeah, you'll never get confidence if you're waiting for that thing that you need confidence for to happen. Like, I have a client who wanted to public speak, and it's like, well, I want to work on my confidence and then public speak. I'm like, no, we're gonna public speak, and that's how you're gonna build yourself up to it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Totally. That's great. So I really look forward to it. What's your website?
It's starlinecoaching.com, and you can actually get that the confidence boosting guide at starlinecoaching.com/get confidence.
Cool. I'll provide the link for it down. I think it'll be technically to the right of your video. So
Awesome.
awesome. Thanks, Barb. I totally appreciate it.
Of course. Bye, Marie.
Have a great day.